Too much sugar in that. Guess what, everybody? Welcome to the Awesemo NHL Strategy Show. And they gave me the reins today. Cliffy lost power. Classic Atlantic Canada internet. He is without power, so you're going to be dealing with me, Pizza Boy, Mr. Smiley, for the next hour. So, what's up, fellas? What's up, boys and girls? It's a 4-game slate, so they let me have the reins. So, here we are. We have a 4-game slate today. Just real quick, go over last night. We had some big winners. I know Cliffy writes this stuff down and prepares his speech. I don't have that in front of me, but I do know that we had, Awesemo subscribers had a good night. I know our boy Wong finished second in the 360 for 30K. He absolutely broke my Twitter because apparently he's the most popular man on Twitter. I had notifications going off like haywire for like 3 hours. Congrats to him. And the guy, our boy, the Daz, who won the Fantasy Hockey World Championships, finished third last night for, I think it was 15K, 15 or 20,000. The hot streak continues for him. Congrats to you guys. I did all right. Hope you guys did all right. I cashed. We got our boy Mike, the Flyers fan, behind the glass. Tough scenes for him yesterday, but that's all right. Yeah. I'm sorry if I missed anyone winning. Cliffy usually has this written down. I know those from last night because I got tagged on Twitter and my Twitter machine broke with so many notifications. Yeah. So we have a giveaway, Reed. Oh, no, we don't. Not yet. You see, I don't do reads. This is why they don't make me the host. But, listen to this one. I have this in front of me. I'm going to try to read it before we get into the slate. Give us a like and subscribe so you can keep up with all of our shows, DFS offers, giveaways, and much more. Once you subscribe, hit the notification button to get alerts when our shows go live. Be sure to also check out today's free premium tools and data, which are NBA player projections. That sounds important. And NHL ownership projections, also important. And PGA top golfers. We have another PGA going off tomorrow. So just head to our Awesemo podcast channel below. Give us a 5-star review with your Twitter handle or Awesemo username included, and you'll be entered to win a free month of Awesemo Platinum. Awesemo Plus Platinum. Not bad for the first time. All right, let's get into the first game. We got the New Jersey Devils with a 2.5 total heading into Toronto. They have a 4.2 total. Peter Mrazek is confirmed for the Leafs. Yeah, Tom Wilson in chat says they're never letting him do this again. You'd be surprised what they let me do here. Peter Mrazek confirmed for the Leafs. It's not going to be Calgren. So Mrazek was on waivers. Now he's starting. I would imagine it's either going to be John Gillies or Nico Dawes tonight. New Jersey's on a back-to-back on the road. They absolutely walloped my Rangers last night, 7-4. Igor looks human. It is what it is. As long as he gets the cold streak out now, better now than in the playoffs. So let's get into this game a little bit. First thing you notice, Leafs top line, very heavy ownership. It's a 4-game slate. You know what I mean? You're going to have to make a decision. It's going to be tough to fit in Toronto 1 or Pittsburgh 1 or Colorado 1. So you're going to have to make a decision on which top line you want to use. Now, the Leafs top line could be in the best spot tonight. The Devils back-to-back on the road going from New Jersey, Toronto. I mean, it's not a long trip, but with all the restrictions getting into Canada now, it could be a bit tiresome. So you look at the Leafs ownership, Austin Matthews, obviously, is going to be the highest owner on that line. We're projecting him at 35% right now. I'd imagine that comes in 45%. People are going to one-off him tonight. Just what it is. But, that line has been electric. Matthews, Marner, Bunting. Price really isn't an issue tonight. You can especially on DraftKings, there's a bunch of filler lines you can get these lines in with, even despite it being a 4-game slate. So, in terms of who's in the best spot tonight, it might possibly be the Leafs top line here. They're going to avoid, the Hischier Bratt line. They're probably going to get Hughes, Mercer, Sharon Govich, which is a very high event line. The Leafs top line with Matthews and Marner is an elite line. It is what it is. So, yeah, I see someone asking for feed picks. Dude, DM me. I'll send you my my crypto addresses. When I see that crypto wallet full, I'll start sending the feed picks. You don't even need no fans. So yeah, Leafs won. Probably my favorite spot of the night. They're going to get a lot of ownership, but I think there's plenty of ways to get different. The Devils have a pretty decent penalty kill, but they do take a bunch of penalties. So if you want to leave off Bunting, he is pretty cheap tonight, 4,100 on DraftKings. You can add in, Nylander or Tavares. They're both in the mid 5s. I think that's fine. You can power play stack if you want. You want to go to that second line. Kerfoot being back there is a drag. And they're also going to get Hischier Bratt, which is a very, very good line. Andreas Janssen was up there yesterday, but he got kicked off in the third period and Tatar moved up. So I would imagine Tatar sticks there. So Tatar, Hischier Bratt's going to be the Devils' second line. I don't really want to stack the Toronto second line at 24% projected ownership when you can get the top line, if you full stack, probably around 26, 27% in a much better matchup. So Leafs won for me. On the Devils side, I think the line that you're going to want to go at is the Devils' second line. Hischier and Bratt have been excellent since they got put together. Whether it's Tatar there, Andreas Janssen, we'll find out. In warm-ups, it's a small price differential on DraftKings. Tatar is $300 more expensive. I would imagine it is going to be Tatar, but they're going to avoid the Matthews line. They're going to get Tavares with Kerfoot there. And the numbers with Kerfoot, both sides of the ice, are much worse. So I'm in on Devils too. I don't know if you need to get there in 1 to 3. It'd be a very sneaky contrarian option if you did. They have been playing very well together, and they are super cheap. So they are a filler that you can definitely use. But if I was 20 maxing, or even 150 maxing, I think, I would be over the field because they're coming in around 2-3%. 1 of 20 gets you over the field. So like 3-25 X's you the field on a good line. Peter Mrazek was just on waivers. He's had a bad season. So I'm in on Devils too. Moving down to the blue lines here. I know I've gotten a lot of questions on Mark Giordano because he's 3,800 tonight, but he is on the third pair. And I feel like they're going to ease him in. So I think for me on the Leafs side, it's going to be Morgan Rielly. He's down to 5K, which is a very reasonable price. You can get them in with Toronto on easily. Or if you need to punt, Labushkin at min price with Rielly, it's going to block some shots. On the Devil side, it looked like they moved Dougie to the top power play with Damon Severson and Hughes, Hischier Bratt. I'm not a huge fan of the 2D power plays, but Dougie getting that extra power play time against a team that is meh defensively, has an okay penalty kill. I think, you can go to Dougie here at 5,900 for a one-off. If you need something cheaper, Damon Severson is fine. If you want a shot blocking punt, I think Siegenthaler is the way to go. So, get access to the great Awesemo Plus tools and content for nearly every DFS sport out there with an Awesemo Plus weekly pass for $29.95. This includes full access to all the premium content and tools on Awesemo.com, including player projections, ownership projections, top stacks, lineup builder, and much more. Of course, if you're only looking to play NHL DFS, then you can sign up for one of our Awesemo Plus NHL packages for as low as $3.95 weekly. Please note that Fantasy Cruncher is an add-on and can easily be added on with these packages at checkout, but is not included in our base package. However, it is a very valuable addition to your DFS arsenal for those looking to multi-enter contest. Stop guessing. Start winning. Join Awesemo Plus Platinum today. So let's move on to the next game on the slate. We got the Pittsburgh Penguins heading into Buffalo to face the Sabres. Pittsburgh has a 3.5 total. Buffalo Sabres has a 2.6 total. Pittsburgh played last night. They beat up on the Blue Jackets. It was Tristan Yarry in net, so I would imagine Casey DeSmith is going to get the nod tonight. Craig Anderson is confirmed for the Sabres. Glad I can provide some entertainment for you guys. Big Turk needs his entertainment. Too bad the Dallas Stars don't play tonight. He would get a kick out of that. Maybe they'll let me, do a short slate with the Dallas Stars. That would get quite the views. Let me take a sip of tea here before we break this down. Put so much sugar in there. Okay, so Pittsburgh top line. They moved Evan Rodriguez. They kept Evan Rodriguez up there, and they started Rickard Rakell on the third line. I enjoy that. I like Evan Rodriguez on the top line. As Cliffy talked about yesterday, they still aren't great from a puck possession wise, and they still are giving up chances defensively. So I think Buffalo 1 is a very interesting play tonight. I'm not a huge believer in Casey DeSmith. And you look at the projected ownership on the Buffalo top line right now, it's coming in at 5%. Excuse me. They're fully correlated on the power play. Pittsburgh does have a very good penalty kill, but, added correlation is never a bad thing. But, 5% is what's drawing me here. They're not super expensive. They're $16K to full stack on DraftKings. It's a 2.6 total, which is okay for the Sabres. Like, they're pretty much a one-line team here. So they're expecting, multiple goals from the top six. So the top line going into that Crosby matchup on a back-to-back on the road is something that I'm interested in. I think it's a pretty good filler. 16K is probably a filler on this slate, but I think you can get there. They're in consideration, honestly, in 1 to 3 for me. You can fit them in with Colorado if you punt D. So, I'm interested in taking advantage of that Crosby line. Moving down the Sabres lineup, laughing's good for you, Turk. It'll make you feel better. Moving down the Buffalo lineup, not much that I really want, like maybe a Middlestat Olsen 2-man, but that's if you really want to get spicy with a couple of expensive power play stacks. So, let me slow down for you. Yeah, I do have an hour, right? So I should probably chill out a little bit. I drank a bang before the show, so I'm pretty amped up right now. So let's go to the Pittsburgh side. So I think the Pittsburgh top line is going to be the lowest owned of the really expensive top lines tonight. I think they're going to prioritize, or players are going to prioritize Toronto 1 and Colorado 1, and maybe even Chicago 1, although that's a different price range than Pittsburgh 1 tonight. I think I don't mind going back to Pittsburgh 1 here. They're coming in. It's mostly an ownership play. I played them last night. They weren't great. So they're coming in at like 5% to full stack that top line. I think it's a really good GPP option because 1, the Sabres aren't great. 2, Craig Anderson isn't good. 3, the Sabres penalty kill is not great as well. So I think there's honestly merit to going either of the top lines here for Pittsburgh. You want a little bit cheaper, around the same ownership. I think you can go to Pitt 2 here. I think you can power play stack. Also, I think in GPPs, you can go to Pitt 3 here because as you go down the Sabres lineup, the defensive numbers just get worse and worse. And, Rickard Rakell on that third line, I know they're saying he's jet lagged, but, for his price, secondary power play time, getting 15 minutes with Carter and Kapanen, I think that is fine. So I like Pitt 1, Pitt power play, Pitt 2. It's really a personal preference. Like, it's how you want to attack it in GPPs. And 1 to 3, it's hard to prioritize Pittsburgh here. I'd much rather use Toronto or the Avs. But I think in 20 max, getting over the field on these Pittsburgh lines is going to be a nice way to get different and potentially leverage the field. On the blue lines, I think you can correlate with Letang and Rasmus Dahlin. Punting-wise, there isn't much that I like. Mike Matheson is okay, but 4,100 on DraftKings, a little pricey. I think, there's a couple cheap punts on Buffalo. Henry Jokiharju's He plays 23 minutes a night. He doesn't do much, though, with those minutes. I'd much rather play Jacob Bryson at min price. I know he's on the third pair, but he's been consistently getting 18 to 21 minutes a night. I'll get to the goalies at the end here, and then I'll take questions from you guys since it's just me, and we have 30 minutes. It's not going to take me 30 minutes to get through the rest of the show, so I'll sit and take some questions. So before we move on to the next game, let's read about Yahoo Fantasy. They've been our sponsor all year. They've honestly been great. I love playing on that site. We have partnered with Yahoo Fantasy this NHL season NHL season to bring you some great offers. Check out our exclusive limited time offer, which gets you 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. To qualify, you need to be new to Yahoo, sign up for an account via the link below, deposit and play. That's it. Yahoo will send us your name after you play in your first pay contest, and we will reach out via email with your coupon. Make sure to use our DFS tools and projections designed specifically for Yahoo to give yourself the best shot at winning big. All right. Let's get to what I think is the most important game of the night. The Vancouver Canucks going into Colorado to face the Avs. The Canucks have a 2.5 total, and the Avs have a 3.7 total. Darcy Kemper is confirmed for the Avs. I would imagine it's going to be Thatcher Demko tonight, but we have not gotten confirmation. Tyler Mott was traded to the Rangers, so he's not obviously going to be in the lineup. The Canucks claim Brad Richardson off waivers for the Flames. He will slot in on the third line. Arturi Lehkonen practiced today with Colorado. He is a game time decision because of travel issue, or what's it called? Immigration issues with his visas. So if that gets cleared up before the game, he will be in. So I would imagine he slots in on the second line with Kadri and Burakovsky, but we'll have to wait and see. There is Bednar, the coach, said he is 50-50 to play tonight. It's really up to the whatever immigration office pushing that through. So chicken bacon ranch or barbecue chicken pizza. If you're a ranch guy and you like heart palpitations, I think you go chicken bacon ranch. If you're looking for something a little bit more savory, barbecue chicken. Anyway, Colorado won a little bit cheaper than Toronto won tonight. They are coming in with less ownership too, and they're about even for me. I think I could give the slight edge to Toronto in terms of matchup, since it is Devils back-to-back on the road. But this still is really a good matchup. It's 3.7 total. Top line's fully correlated. Valery Nichushkin still 4,700, which that price is really reasonable. That line is 20,700 on DraftKings, which is reasonable. It doesn't really matter to me what their matchup's going to be. They're matchup proof. Even if they get Miller, Garland, Pearson, which is probably the best defensive line they have, they won't be able to slow down Colorado 1. Colorado 1 also fully correlated. Vancouver does not have a very good penalty kill. If you want to go to that second line, I think you have to wait and see if Arturi Lehkonen is in, because he is min price tonight. So if he's out, not sure who moves up. I mean, I think Newhook was there. He's 2,800. Logan O'Connor could move up. He's also min price, but I think I would much prefer that line with Arturi Lehkonen there. If you want a power play stack the Avs, it might be possible. You know, their prices have come down a bit. I think I really like adding in Cale Makar with Colorado 1. If you want to leave off Nichushkin, adding Kadri to get a little bit different, I think that's viable as well. So we'll have to wait and see with Lehkonen. I think if you're into Colorado 2, you really want to hear that news first. On the Canucks side, like Pettersson, Horvat, Besser, fully correlated, seems fun on paper. This is just a brutal matchup, and you're not exactly getting a massive discount here. They're coming in at 15,000. I think I'd much rather, play Buffalo 1 tonight for 16,000 than play Canucks going into Colorado here. So, I mean, in MME, if you want to get a little bit of the top 6, I think that's fine. But in 1 to 3, I'm not going to prioritize the Canucks tonight. On the blue lines, I think on the Colorado side, obviously Makar makes some sense. If you can't get there, Devin Tays under 5K on DraftKings. That's just too cheap. And if you need a punt, I think you can go all the way down to Josh Manson, min price. He's been blocking shots. His minutes aren't great, but that's because they play Tays and Makar, 25 minutes a night. On the Vancouver side, if you're doing anything with Vancouver, obviously correlating with Quinn Hughes is fine. Travis Dermott making his Canucks debut tonight on the third pair. I'd wait and see minutes allocations. I think Luke Schen's going to get a bump without Hamonic there. He has 2,900. I think I'd rather play Tyler Myers at 3,400. His peripherals have not been great recently, but for the amount of minutes he plays, he can get you a block bonus. Isn't this fun? Who needs Cliffy? I need Cliffy. Is this where we do the Awesemo Hall of Fame, Mike? This is where we do the Awesemo Hall of Fame. I think, okay, so like I don't have the read broken down in front of me, but since I made the Hall of Fame earlier this year, you need the Awesemo logo. Get the Awesemo logo. Check. You need to place in the top 3 of a contest with over 5K contestants. You tweet the win to the Awesemo Hall of Fame account, and then you win a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. So let's see if, yeah, we're gonna read through some Awesemo Hall of Fame stuff. Get your questions right too, because I only got one more game here. Looking at House, like you could come on with me. You could have came on with me today, but when someone asked, you're like, no. So look at this. Our own Noam Kelly, who always tells me how to fix my articles. We love Noam Kelly over at Awesemo.com, shipping some college basketball with Mickey Brackets, our boy from New Jersey, 3rd place in UFC captain mode, which is awesome, by the way. If you're dead early or if you want to play late slate, it's awesome. Captain mode on DraftKings for MMA is sweet. Good job, Nicky Brackets. And Dave DeRemer scares me a little bit. Intimidating profile picture, but he is the parlay master using odd shoppers here. I know he's in the MMA chat. And we got Scott here. Looks like NBA winning 12,500 off $55. That is an elite win right there. Thanking all of our NBA guys. That is a long list of NBA guys. Then we got Brendan from Buffalo. Good wings there. 4-leg parlay. Odd Shopper's getting a lot of love on the Hall of Fame. So yeah, let's get that logo. Just win, baby. I know it's not easy to win. That's why we give away a month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you do that. So, and just a reminder, only one free month to be awarded to a user per calendar year. So if you bank like 9 tournaments in a row, you're not going to get 9 months. You're only going to get 1. But if you're winning that much money anyway, you can afford to get it for the rest of the year. Yeah. This is a fun game too. Chicago Blackhawks going into Anaheim. Miserable city, by the way. No redeeming qualities in Anaheim. Just traffic and smog. Anaheim Ducks have a 3.1 total. Chicago Blackhawks have a 2.9 total. Marc-Andre Fleury got traded to the Wild. So I would imagine it's going to be Kevin Lankinen tonight for the Hawks and probably John Gibson for the Ducks tonight. Big news for the Ducks was they traded Hampus Lindholm. And if you are in our Slack, if you were in our Discord chat this morning, Cliffy showed some graphics with Hampus Lindholm off the ice for the Ducks. Their expected goals against goes up by 34%. So they already have a pretty porous penalty kill. So now 5-on-5, their expected goals goes up by 34%. So I'm in on Chicago 1 tonight. I'm not super happy about it, but I think you have to. They're fully correlated. Their prices have come down a bit. Like DeBrincat's under 6K, Kane's 6,400. I am in New Jersey, yeah. So yeah, I'm in on Chicago 1 here tonight, fully correlated. I think they can take advantage of whatever line. Like at home, the Ducks send out Steele, Lundestrom, Carrick against top comp, and they're just like a 40% line. Not that the Strome Kane to Brinkat line is super great 5-on-5, but Kane's kind of one of those players who messes up advanced stats, kind of like line A. So I think you have to take their, analytical stats with a grain of salt. I think they're fine 5-on-5. You're going to get a very good power play matchup. So I'm in on Chicago 1. The second line is super cheap. Kubalik, Tays, Radish. Taylor Radish min price on the top power play. That line's coming in at 1%. If you're trying to power play stack, doing like a Tays, Radish, or Radish, Kubalik 2-man, I think is a nice way to get in a power play stack. Going down to the third and fourth lines, not much there. I just want to say Boris Tkachuk. I love that name. I hope he gets into the top 6. On the Duck side, I saw some chatter in our chat about Derek Grant in cash. He is min price, and he is on the line with Zegras and Terry. So yeah, it does make some sense. You look at that line, the Ducks top line of Zegras, Terry, Grant. They are 10-1 to full stack on DraftKings, and they are coming in as the highest owned line projected on DraftKings tonight at 35%. I don't know if I can get behind 35% Ducks here, but it is Lankinen. They do have the Hawks do have a poor penalty kill. So I don't know. What do you do? If you want to play chalk Ducks tonight, like go for it. I just feel like Colorado 1, Anaheim 1, Toronto 1, Anaheim 1 is going to be a popular build tonight. Just be aware of what you're doing. I think, taking bits and pieces is fine. I think something I do is maybe go down to the second line of Comtois, Henrique, but even they're getting like 17, 18% ownership. Like chalk's Duck slates on a 4-game slate. Like I think it's a pretty easy fade in 1 to 3. You can be under the field in MME. Like I don't mind the Ducks lines here. I just don't know if I want to play that ownership in GPPs. Going to the blue line, it looks like the Hawks are doing this thing where they're kicking Seth Jones off the top power play, and Eric Gustafsson min price is going to be on the power play. So I guess that comes into play a little bit for GPPs. I still would rather just play Seth Jones at 5,600. You can also punt Caleb Jones at 2,700. On the Duck side, the prices have come down a bit. I think Cam Fowler is a good play at 3,500, or even Jamie Drysdale is fine at 2,900. So before I go over goalies, and I'll take your questions, we got some shows coming up. Fan Up College Basketball Show with Eric and Ben at 3:30. Locks Before Lock at 4:15 with Ben and Savoca. Then the double dose, we got Live Before Lock and a couple of other NBA shows coming up. Just tons of NBA shows. We got MLB starting in 2 weeks from tomorrow, so I'm sure that schedule is going to fill up pretty quick. And once again, I just want to thank our sponsor, Yahoo. They've been great to us all year. So let's go over some goalies here. Like there isn't great spend down options tonight. I think Lankinen would probably be, the one I feel most comfortable with, or Craig Anderson going up against the Pittsburgh Penguins back-to-back on the road. I think spending up, I'd rather play Darcy Kemper than Peter Mrazek. And if you just want to get absolutely saucy, you just take the Devils goalie and hope that he gets the saves bonus and possibly win, because Mrazek is awful. We need 2 more likes to get to 69. So come on. Let me take a sip of tea. If you guys have questions, now's the time. I'll take a few questions and I'll let you know who my hat trick pick's going to be. One more like. Yeah, so now you're going to see the guy working behind the sticks, Philadelphia Flyers fan, Awesemo on Twitter, Mike. He's not allowed to talk, though. I'm not letting him talk. Flyers fans are not allowed to talk on my show. On my show, Flyers fans are not allowed to talk. I see my fiance is asking about Austin Matthews. If you're not careful, I'm going to leave you for him. His hairline is atrocious, but he's got a nice smile and a beautiful personality. Toronto Devils game stack. Yeah, game stacking on a short slate is viable. I would just avoid lines going up against each other. So I think you go like New Jersey 2, Toronto 1, I think is viable. Devils 1, Toronto 2. I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, but there's not enough conspiracy videos on that to really have a comment about it. Sneaky Toronto 1 with Gio. I think Gio's an interesting play tonight. He's starting on the third pair and they might ease him in, but that price is pretty enticing. Game stacking Pitt Buffalo. Yeah, I would just avoid both top lines here. I would, either go Buffalo 1 with Pitt 2 or Pitt 3. I guess you could, but it like two lines going up against each other, it's rare for both of them to go off at the same time. Chicago 2 with Jones, yeah. Super cheap. Let you get in Jones. You could do whatever else you want with your lineup. Who do you think my hat trick pick's going to be? Huh? Who do you think it's going to be? I want to see what you guys think. It might be Marner. Overrated Mitch Marner, my son. Bacon just gave the Marner bark. Brinkat. That is a very good guess. Wow. Everyone's saying DeBrincat, and that is the guy I wrote down for my hat trick. I guess being predictable isn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah, Marner's getting the bacon bark of approval. So play Mitch Marner tonight, but my hat trick pick, honestly, is going to be Alex DeBrincat. So, yeah. Thank you to whoever told me to slow down earlier because I was talking like 9,000 words a minute, but this was fun. I enjoy going on shows alone. Not that I'm slamming Cliffy here. I love doing shows with Cliffy, but it does give me an opportunity to show that I can read some ads. So if they need me to host going forward, I am capable of it. I enjoyed this. We should do it again. So yeah, for Mike, our producer, the Flyers fan who's not allowed to speak on our stream behind the glass, I'm Pizza Boy, Mr. Smiley, saying good luck. And we'll see you tomorrow. Me and Cliffy will be back, or Cliffy and I don't know what the proper English is. I'm not a wordsmith. We'll be back, assuming he gets his power back, at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Appreciate it, fellas.